Right, I've sawn away some of the grip here just to get the string line better and narrowed the tips a little. But I know you can see the burn mark there where I ran it through the saw. It's so hard, it was sort of smoking and smelling like baking biscuits. Very nice. Yeah, and I've reversed it on the tiller, so this was the limb that was weak, because normally the lower limb would be slightly stiffer. This was still way too stiff, so I've eased it off where it was stiff, tightened the string a bit. There's still no actual brace height on it as such. The shape of the grip's a bit problematic there. Yeah, you can still see there's £40. The bends on that right limb. Left's a little bit more even looking. There's some flex here where this reflex is pulling out. I've thinned that substantially. That's stiff there. The danger is what will happen is I'll ease off there too much and suddenly it'll look very weak. Same there. It's the sort of shape of the thing. Because there's reflex, it looks very stiff here. So it always looks a funny shape. There's a hint of deflex there. So it looks weak there. I'll keep tinkering around with it. Right, I've taken a whisker off here and tried to nibble back into the grip a bit and eased off a couple of places that are thick. I think this is a problem area because there's a big kink here and a thick knot which is making that stiff. But I've increased the brace a bit and that'll hopefully let me see the overall shape. I was struggling to see what's going on, and you can't correct something if you can't see it. I mean, it's pretty self-evident. But yes, that's just beginning to look a bit more even. I think the cracks and pops are probably maybe bark coming off. But the more I flex it, the more even it's. You can see what's moving now. But yes, we've definitely got movement here now, and some of this reflex area, it is pulling out the reflex, but it's not actually flexing much. It's just looking a bit more symmetrical. And you've got this deflex hump here that looks like it's bending, but I don't think it is really. I'll have to look at that video a bit closer. But these things are interesting. Right, I've got it at a slightly higher brace now, which helps you see the shape of it. One of the other problems is, because it's a small diameter branch or log, whatever you want to call it, it's very highly crowned. So there's some quite thick ridges in places, but it should be stiff there because of this highly crowned ridge, but because it's slightly deflexed it looks weak. So it's trying to determine what is actually weak and what just looks weak. It's not always obvious. Ah, look, that's looking a bit more like a bow, isn't it? It looks very straight-limbed on the left limb. There's £40. If you assume we're aiming at a £40 draw weight, that's 40 at about, that's 40 at about 17 inches. So I've got a lot of, well, I can either go for a higher poundage or I've got to take some weight off it. But I think you'll agree, we can definitely see now, we evened it up. There was a lot of bend here, well now we've got a lot of bend here. So we've got the middle bending, so I need to leave that alone and get the outers moving. Unless I say, well, no, I want a stiff outer limb and a lot of bend there, but it'd probably just end up taking set. But at least it's more even now. I can sort of progress with some sort of sensible movement. I think it just looks a bit ugly here. It'd be quite nice to flip that tip a bit just to match this, because you've got this D-flex here, and you've got this quite nice Cupid's bow shape there. Anyhow, that'll do for now.